Hi, I something happened. I got knocked off. I'm back. We were just getting into the juicy, delicious part of how to do a cold read. All right, how to practice it. So this is what you want to do. First of all, skip memorizing. All right, don't even try to memorize this. You're going to go into your agent, or you're going to be handed the cold read, or whatever it is. Take it and go out to the little room and focus. All right, so don't worry about memorizing, because unless you've done my super fantastic, incredible way of memorizing, which is the 8-point system, then you're really probably not going to have the skills to memorize what you have in 5 to 10 minutes that you're going to have. Okay, so take your cold read script, get in a nice quiet room, try to block everything out, and you're going to read through it. Read through the whole thing. All right. Once you do, ask yourself, what does my character want in this situation? So say it's a girl that is really angry at her boyfriend because she thinks he cheated on her. And that's going to be a nice, delicious, juicy scene you're going to do, right? So what you're going to do is you're not going to ask yourself or say to yourself, what should I feel? Or I'm going to feel sad right here and angry on this one, or blah, blah, blah. That's not really going to work. It's not going to look like real human behavior. Instead, we want to take it from a script analysis point of view, which is, what do I want? What do I want? So let's say this girl's name is Amanda. And what do I want? I want to annihilate my boyfriend. I want to punish him. I want to destroy him for doing this to me. Okay? So what do I want? You think about that. What do I want? And then, what is it like to me? So we'll personalize it, okay? What do I want? What is it like to me? So I want to annihilate this guy because he cheated on me. Now, maybe I'm in a really great marriage or relationship and I don't have a lot of experience with that, or nobody's ever cheated on me or anything like that, which, wow, wouldn't it be great if that were true for somebody or people out there? Anyway, so you think about, like, what could be a substitution for that? You think, all right, so who do I ever get really, really angry at? And who do I ever want to just get revenge on? You're like, well, nobody. I'm a nice person. I don't think like that. But say you have a pet. Say you have a pet and your neighbor, you don't like your neighbor very much, and you suspect your neighbor of wanting to try to kidnap your pet and poison it. I don't know, something like that. So you can do an as if. You can say, it's as if this happened to my pet, that my neighbor actually kidnapped my pet and I haven't seen them and I don't know where they are. So I want to lambaste them and get revenge on them and really, like, nail them for this. So maybe you can really relate to that. So instead of because the situation is Amanda is mad at her boyfriend because he cheated on her, is what your copy is saying, right? So you're not going to just pretend that you are in that situation. You're going to take something from your life. So this neighbor has kidnapped your pet and your pet is missing and you're upset. So it's as if I am lambasting my neighbor for taking this pet, right? So that's what you're going to practice. Or if that doesn't work, maybe your husband always squeezes toothpaste wrong, like from the bottom, and it makes you crazy and you just want to scream at him. You don't, because you're civilized and you want to stay married, but you could also use something like that. So what do I want and what is it like to me? Those are the two things you need to ask yourself when you're doing a cold read. All right, what do I want? What is it like to me? Okay, so you do that and you reread it and you reread it and you go over it as much as you can and get as familiar as you can with it. And you really try to deepen your personal connection to it. And then when you go in there, it's going to be so much better than just trying to memorize it. You can't memorize it, or trying to play emotions or anything like that. So that's what you can do. Now, another thing you can do if you have practiced this as well is you can play your verbs. So in actors in action, in the Lichty technique, as some of my students like to call it, which is so lovely, we do a lot of behavioral work with behaviors, which you can grasp onto by using verbs. So a verb is to lead, to accompany, to tickle, to lambast. So you could maybe pick a couple of verbs, maybe 3 verbs. And the first verb could be to nudge them, like, so Christopher, you know, how come you keep coming home late? How can you keep blah, 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 blah? That kind of stuff. So you're nudging him. You want him to confess, right? You can't confess him or confess to him, but you can nudge him to confess. And then you don't get any response because it's a monologue, or maybe it's a scene. You're like, I don't know. And then you can like confront him, right? Well, I saw the lipstick print on your shirt, and I know it's not my color because I don't wear orange, right? So accuse, I accuse you. So that can be your next verb. And you can use that for a little bit of the piece. And then you go on to your last verb, which is to lambast maybe, or to massacre. You know, get out of here. I don't ever want to see you again, blah, blah, blah. All right. So those are verbs. Verbs are super handy. They are super magical. They are amazing. They can be a little tricky to learn how to play at first, but once you learn, it's incredible. So that is how you are going to approach the cold read from what I'm suggesting. So don't memorize it, read it, figure out, what do I want and what is it like to me? And then if you have time, pick a couple of verbs. All right. So now it's pretty simple, really. It's pretty simple, but not easy. So you can do this when you get in there to your agent or whatever you're reading. You can pull this out and like, okay, you know, here we go. I'm going to try this. And if you haven't practiced it at home, it may not go so well. But if you practice it at home before you go in, you're going to have this down. You're going to feel really, really comfortable with it. There's a huge thing in acting about repetition, and not just Meisner's exercise repetition. But when we go in, like when we audition, there's pretty much the same thing generally. We're sitting out in the lobby. They call us in. We hear our name. We come in. We do our nice room. We say, hi, how's it going? Da, 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 right? And then we do our audition, and then we exit. That's pretty much the flow of an audition. So if you can get your body used to that, used to walking in the door, giving good room, as I call it, giving a great audition, and walking out, you're going to feel more comfortable on a cellular level every time you go to an audition. So you can practice that as well. I really, really advise that. And you can practice that by yourself, actually. You can just pretend that there's a casting director and come in and do that, okay? So practice that, but most importantly, practice this technique of cold reading. So what you're going to do is you're going to get some, and it's time for links right now, you're going to get some cold reads. So I looked on the internet. Here is a couple of cold read places where you can go. I just looked up monologues, and I'm going to put these in. So you can look up monologues, print some out, just have them there. Of course, with the cold read, you don't want to have looked at them before. You can also use just a book. You find a book you like, open a page, take 2 paragraphs, work on it that way. Okay? Here's also some commercial copy links. And you can just search online for all this stuff too, but I thought I'd make it a little easier for you. All right? So any kind of text you have. Dramatic text will be best, of course, because it'll be structured. It'll be in the dramatic structure. It'll be somebody wanting something with an obstacle against them, and there'll be conflict. So that's best to practice on, but the actual skills of practicing cold reading you can do on anything. What do I want? What am I doing? So there's one last skill that I want to go over with this, and that is actually looking at the words and looking at the paper. A lot of times we get in there and we're like, to be or not to be, that is a question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. So my eyes are just lost in my page, right? I'm down like this. We don't want to do that. So what you want to do instead is you want to practice gathering your words and saying them, okay? So you look at it, to be or not to be, that is the question. And then you don't break that energy. You keep it, but you look down and you pull up the words, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. Okay, so you can take your time with learning to take words off the page. Take your time with it. Take your time when you go into the audition. No casting director wants to see this. Hi, hey, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. They don't want to see that. They can't see you. There's not time for your energy to come out. So take your space. Take your space, which means take your time, and practice that. All right? So I think that's all I have to say today on that. Let's just review it quickly. For cold readings, how to make your cold reads hot. So hot, they're going to have to put shades on, right? Like, whoa, it's so hot. That cold read, let's book them. So what you're going to do is, first, you're not going to worry about memorization unless you are a super whiz and have practiced it for like 6 months and can look at something in 30 seconds and have it memorized. But other than that, you're not going to worry about memorization. You're going to read it thinking about, what does my character want? What do I want? What do I want? What's my desire? And then, what is that like to me? Personalize it. Make it juicy. Make it real. Make it come from your own life. Because that's what they want to see. They want to see you. Yes, the character channeling through you, but you. So, and then the last thing you're going to practice, you're not going to do this in the audition room or outside of it, but at home, you are going to practice taking the words off the page. All right? Yay. Okay. So, what else was I going to say today? Thanks for being here. Please comment. I'd love to hear your comments. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put my memorization, the 8-point system on here too, just so you can, if you haven't heard of that, you can look at it. It's on my website. You can take a look at this really nifty way I've been learning to teach people how to memorize quickly. It's a biolinguistic thing where you use eye movement and it works really beautifully. So a couple of other announcements. We rocked it at the Advanced Class Showcase last weekend. It was really, really amazing. We had a pretty good turnout. And in fact, we made $300 in proceeds for our charity donation. I just made that today for Help Hope Live. We gave them $300. Help Hope Live is a charity organization that helps people who have had organ transplants to just pay their bills while they're out of work, healing from it. So we did that, which is awesome. And our next showcase is going to be in August, and we're going to have it at the Eccles Black Box Theater here in Salt Lake. I am bound and determined. So we're going to do that there. So keep your eyes out for that. We do like Shakespeare and Chekhov and classic scenes and that kind of stuff. Tomorrow is the $5 improv class. Check it out. There's only a couple weeks left of it. It's at the studio I teach at, Sue Rose, excuse me, which is 740 West, 1700 South, Suite 5, excuse me, in Salt Lake. $5, just show up. Mary Neville, the fantastic Miss Mary Neville, is going to be teaching it. Also, we have another free intro class. That is going to be Monday, February 12th from 6:30 to 8 at Utah Valley University Orem campus. And here's a little link for that one. Put that in there, comment below. And then also, I'm doing a free intro class in LA. So if anybody here watching this is in LA, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'm going to be doing 3 different days of my intro class. So check it out. It'll be really, really fun. And then one last thing, the business class. I'm doing a business class, my fun business class where you get to learn the ABCEFs of acting, which are appearance, business, craft, emotional, and financial fitness. And that is Monday, February 19th from 6:30 to 9 at Sue Rose. It's $35 unless you took my free intro class before and signed up for my AIA classes. Then it's free for you, and you know who you are with that. So, okay. So next week we're going to talk about how to make a great actor's website. So I have a couple of examples of that. I did all these websites. You can check them out. They're my own personal acting website, my class website, and my production company website, Illyrium Productions. So check them out. They're gorgeous, and they hardly cost anything. It's amazing. You have to be a little bit tech savvy, but I'm going to show you how to find some tutorials and that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. Oh, and one last thing is tomorrow I am working on The Outpost, which is a series that's being shot here. Aerostorm, yay, Aerostorm Productions. They're amazing. They do all kinds of really cool medieval stuff. They've done Mythica movies. They've done all kinds of stuff, and I get to play somebody who, probably spoiler alert, I shouldn't say anything because anyway, it's really fun. I'm really excited about it. So that's great. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please comment. Please, let us know if you have anything you want to talk about. The more specific, the better, too, because I can really help you with that. Okay? All right, rock and roll. Enjoy your super hot, fabulous, amazing cold reads. Oh, I mean hot reads. Okay. Over and out. Bye.